My name is Jessica Mueller. I'm the Executive Director of Business Innovation, Advancement, and Adult Education here within the College of Business and Technology. And I'm excited to continue our Class Labs live series where campus creatives meet entrepreneurial innovation, turning classrooms into think tanks. And today we're excited to feature Jesse Rutschman, founder of Strengthsbase, a digital platform designed to help college students make meaningful, strength-based decisions about their careers and personal lives.
Hey, I'm excited to be here.
Thanks for joining us. So Jesse is currently partnered with the Big Center and the NEIU College of Business and Technology faculty through support from the Illinois Innovation Vouchers Grant, which is enabling collaborative research and development to enhance the customer experience and market strategy of Strengthsbase. So we're thrilled to have you here, and it's been wonderful working with you, not only on this grant project, but as a founder in the first cohort of the Become Your Own Boss class after I got hired. So it's been a minute since we've been working together, but let's just start from the top. For those who are unfamiliar with your platform, what is Strengthsbase and how does it support students in exploring their strengths and planning for their career paths?
Yes. So thank you for having me here. So Strengthsbase is an interactive platform and app. It's designed to help students and professionals discover their strengths, clarify their goals, and take action towards meaningful careers and living in general. And what it really aims to do is make the often overwhelming journey of career development personalized, more affordable, and convenient, particularly for college students. And this works through interactive coaching with the platform, a curated hub of content with assessments, articles, videos, and action plans that help you discern your values, connect with mentors, develop portfolios, develop your skills. It's adaptive. It's not a one-size-fits-all type of platform. It really focuses on individualizing the learning journey for both students, recent graduates, and professionals, and empowering the users to be more confident. That's something that came up a lot in the feedback was just the importance of having that confidence boost in your career planning, and also a strengths-based approach. I'm very keen on taking a strengths-based approach to everything I do. Here at NEIU and all of my working with people is just helping start with, okay, what are you good at?
Yeah.
What do you love to do? And make that the starting point.
So, that's a great place to start with strength from a strengths point of view versus a deficit point of view, right? A lot of people come to college and it's overwhelming, it's confusing, and you're supposed to figure out the next 40 years of your life as a careerist in a 4 years time. So it's a really good place to start of what am I good at? How do I apply it? Maybe what I'm passionate about as well. And how does that fit into a career for me and my family's? And I think that's a really great place to start. I also wanted to say that in the final projects, and we'll get into this more a little bit later, but the adaptiveness of your platform, I think, is critical as we're all looking for a very customized and personalized response to whatever we're doing, right? So like I mentioned, you partnered with the Big Center through the Illinois Innovation Voucher Grant Program, which again supported R&D collaboration with within higher ed with our faculty. And what inspired you though to take that leap and apply for the grant and work with our faculty and students on this project?
I guess I'll start with what inspired me to found Strengthsbase. And just give a little history of my background. I also work here at Northeastern Illinois University as a assistant director of TRIO Achieve program, and I've been here in that program since 2014, but I have a long history working with youth in Chicago and working with NEIU, so I have a strong love for this place. I decided at some point I wanted to be an entrepreneur, get into business. So took advantage of free classes and started the MBA program, but also sought after opportunities that would really give me the opportunity to launch what I was interested in through my work with TRIO, working with first-generation college students, students with disabilities. I was doing a lot of career advising and seeing a lot of times students really looking for the right career without starting from wanting to understand or being aware of their strengths. And I created a curriculum, a strengths and career guide for students, and thought I wanted something bigger than that, more personalized, and got into partnering with friends and family to help me code and create the platform. And yeah, through the Become Your Own Boss program, the inaugural program here with Jessica, I've got a lot of support in developing the business planning, and ultimately through the Illinois Innovation Voucher Grant, now I'm tied to a lot of support and expertise from CBT faculty, and Jessica's been a great champion. Garo's marketing class was amazing to hear the students and give their feedback.
Yeah, it's a great starting point for in terms of a use case and having our students interact with it, give feedback. And that was the essence of the Class Labs project, where you were able to introduce your business where it was, which you were already pretty far along with coding up a web page and having it already be interactive, and a members portal, sign in, etc., and then going in and having individuals start building their profile and things about what they were looking for. But when you introduce the project, right, to the marketing class with Dr. Agopian, right, I think all three of us were really open to how it was going to take form, right? And I've worked with our marketing students in previous times, and I just knew they would be able to give you some, really immense insights, no matter how the project landed. But how did we come up? How did the project come up? What was the outcome of it that you were really excited about? And how was that process for you?
Yeah, so I think if you remember me, you had to talk me back into the class partnership.
I did.
I think I delayed a semester initially, and when you approached me about it. So there's a lot behind the scenes that has already gone into Strengthsbase and coding and the integrations. And my hope of hopes was that by the time Garo's class was doing their research, there would be the platform would be launched, and there would be a lot of content for the students to interact with, and ended up really giving them just a rough prototype and kind of a blank slate to work with. But honestly, I ended up embracing that because that blank slate was really a perfect, on-ramp for their feedback. And, I had to maybe bite my tongue a little, or pause to not, but no, wait, it's not going to be like that, to clarify the direction with the students' feedback when I made the class visits. But honestly, overall, it was a very validating experience. A lot of their feedback really aligned with my previous R&D. They really embraced the personalized learning journeys as a need, and something that wasn't generic in terms of other tools that they had encountered, or in comparison to other tools they had encountered. They gave a lot of other feedback that was really helpful. Some of the onboarding features that I had envisioned, and other onboarding features that were great ideas. Content that the students really want, particularly Gen Z students.
Yeah.
I digest my own content, podcasts, articles, etc. But for example, wanting 2-minute TikTok style shorts, that was a new kind of feedback that was really, instructive in how to develop the platform. And also what kept emerging, as we mentioned, was that need for confidence. I forgot what it was like to be a college student, and
Yeah.
in that very uncertain space before you really jump into your career, and I can't even imagine what that feels like now. And so it was, I guess, a nice breath of empathy to hear that and see the importance of that role, uh, and really being a motivational coach for students as well, and just boost their confidence along with the self-discovery and the connections to opportunities that the platform gives them.
Yeah, I know that we had some hiccups with you know getting the platform to a space that you ultimately wanted to be in, but I think it really was the insights from the market research with your target market, which is college students, like today's college students. Actually, I think it was a great opportunity to step back and say, hey, before I build this whole thing out, before I invest all these dollars and hours of my life, I'm actually getting the insights I need about what is the top priority for these students to have and see and utilize so that they actually go in there and they spend time. Because there's nothing worse than, right, doubling down on something that isn't really ultimately what the customer wants to see. Um, so I really appreciated how they dug in and divvied up, different marketing strategy content and marketing research and user experience, and gave you just like a really a wide comprehensive feedback on the things. And then there was themes that emerged that are really, I think, powerful for you to know, okay, instead of putting my time and money here, I'm gonna make sure that this part of the app's experience or the website experience is where students want to actually spend time and where they find value. And that's really hard these days, right? I mean, we are constantly switching our attention, and it's so easy to be looking at your website and then get a ping on my phone or someone walk in the room or whatever it looks like for a student. So ultimately, that stickiness of that content and the experience is really, really important. Yeah. So was there anything that was particularly surprising about their feedback or how the students perceive Strengthsbase as a tool for them?
I think overall it was very validating, again, to see how much the feedback they shared aligned with what I thought the students would benefit most from. Things that stood out, the onboarding experience for users, and how important that is to grab them initially. Maybe a
Mm-hmm.
pop up video that really explains in very short, succinct ways how to use the site. Just w- multiple points of engagement through the platform itself, through app notifications,
Mm-hmm.
but also like you mentioned, the desire not to be overwhelmed. So, you really have to keep those points of contact engaging and short.
Yeah.
But keep the journey continuous, but understand that, they're not going to be drawn in for long chunks of time. Which was always something in the back of my mind, but I think that hearing that from the students affirmed that even more. It needs things to be more intuitive, and I really hope that in the developer support that we get in the next phase, they'll really come together not only from working out some of the kinks, but to become more user friendly and intuitive overall. Yeah, just the kind of content that is easy to digest that the students appreciate. Gamification came up to kind of,
Yes.
and it is something that I also thought of because I want it to be fun for me as much as it's fun for the users.
Yeah.
And yeah, I would love to see a very gamified experience, whatever that looks like, to help track their progress and motivate them along the way toward their action plans. And the personalized focus, kept emerging as something they embraced. So I'm glad that they got that because I wasn't sure if my initial prototype conveyed that,
Mm.
but I'm glad that the students did.
So we've been working on this year-long grant together, and the class labs was a deliverable of that. Um, and but we're working on a lot of other things together as well. And there's a lot of moving parts. There's faculty. There's additional support staff. Now building out a team for yourself. So, how has working with a big center really enhanced your business outcomes? Piece of
Yeah,
it.
I would guess I would step back and more embrace the piece of the just the general support I've gotten through this grant from the College of Business faculty and staff. It's really been a game changer. It's switched me from a capacity that I wouldn't have really had
Yeah.
to put in, a few hours here and there outside of work for building content, which I see a lot of SaaS founders do, and then really try to put it out and hope that an audience will find it. But really, it's put me in the real world. It has definitely made me have to collaborate with people and put my time into that. And, I really appreciate Dr. Funk and Dave Jordan and
Mhm.
their support, Dr. Lisa Hollis-Sawyer and her support with the really understanding the survey design and adult learning. And yeah, I appreciate this support. It has been definitely, I guess, the learning curve or challenge there has been in taking something that has so many technological or
Yeah.
technical layers of, and integrating, because I'm not a programmer who can whip this up from scratch, but had a lot of different components that are integrated and workflows, and then translating that to people who have, haven't been in the weeds with me,
Yeah.
and training them in this, as well as my own vision and marketing plan for Strengthsbase. So I guess that's been the learning curve, is to be able to communicate and with the team and try to create something together. So I've been designing, new processes and workflows to collaborate, to communicate better. That has been a real important. I guess that's where my time and energy in this
Yeah.
goes into, which is great. It's a great leadership opportunity.
And in particular, like you're one of the first to receive the Illinois Innovation Grant from the state, which was a new initiative in 2024 that was signed into legislation. So it's also cool to be on the ground floor of that as well, for the state to say we want to invest in Illinois-based companies to do R&D so that they can continue growing with us. And I think that's really a testament to of your growth, our growth center, building
Yeah.
up this team.
No, the Illinois voucher grant has been a game changer, really kind of a holy grail for a founder,
Honestly.
to not take out a giant loan and be indebted to that, and not have a lot of venture capital investors swoop in and tell me how to do things
Mm-hmm.
and squeeze out, as much as they can make, but to really have the opportunity to have have seed funds to start this,
Yeah.
and have the freedom and the leeway to do that.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It's a unique program, and thanks to the Illinois Science and Technology Coalition too to manage that, but and manage all the coaching and info sessions and all that has gone into spreading the word about this opportunity, so that founders can get this seed money that really has very little strings attached to it. So
Yeah,
it's
amazing.
if not zero. So it's been amazing. So based on the feedback that you received from our students in the classroom, is there anything that you are now focused on that you weren't before?
Yeah, and so at this point, this stage, we have very limited user data, but the classroom feedback and vision, their imagination, was great feedback that we're really using to build, to curate the right content, and also, based on their feedback, but also based on expertise. So I mentioned Dr. Houseware's support in research-backed content that will really help in positive post-career outcomes, like connecting with mentors, really developing a portfolio of independent projects, things like that that are shown to really help students or graduates advance in their careers. So combination of the content that will engage students and also an understanding of this being a platform to help you develop and really do it in the right and most impactful ways. So I'm very excited to start collecting the user data, and we have an analytics specialist who's going to help us in that journey, really take a step back and look at it and see what resonates the most with students, what reaches the most audience online. And I'm just really looking forward to being able to use that to help develop something that is really can get great testimonials and is really marketable to other institutions and really appeals to your random user surfing the web for career development support. So looking forward to, I guess, real user data in addition to the what ifs or the suggestions of Garl's marketing students.
Yeah, and I think that's something to also note. They recommend, the World Business Economic Forum is projecting by 2050, so next 25 years, that 1.1 billion jobs are going to be reallocated, right? So what does that actually mean for, the everyday employer or employee, excuse me? That means upskilling, reskilling. That means figuring out what you can bring to the table for as these companies and employers have to shift for whatever reason to change their operational model. And I think that on your platform can be a really great springboard for those conversations. Okay, what are my skills? What am I good at? What did I learn along the way from my 20 years at this company or this company and 5 others? And how do I now apply it to this new age of employment? And I think that speaks to that kind of second act career that you mentioned earlier, on top of the college student who's coming in for their first go at full-time employment.
Well, I think the nature of the platform being very adaptive and continuous with content, can allow for the opportunity to really adapt what types of professional development opportunities we are connecting users with as the world changes, what's appropriate. And also, I'm trying to remember the article and more importantly, the exact super strengths, but in a more automated universe that we are living in and headed more towards, there are definitely human skills that are most valuable, whether that's critical thinking and problem solving or, leadership, design thinking. These are the skills sets to emphasize, being a continuous lifelong learner, right? Rather than the next programming language or certification that you think is going to have lasting power, but to really have that framework too of understanding where the economy is headed and really developing, I guess, transferable skills, but really these future super strengths to future proof your career. So that's definitely something that's been top of mind in developing Strengthsbase as a kind of a subtext, is that it should be a platform that helps users develop to future-proof their careers.
That sounds like a great tagline. Future-proof your career with Strengthsbase.
Thought about that one. It's, you can't have too many taglines at the same time. Well, I guess you can, but you have to pay for each of them and split test it and all of that. But we'll get there.
Yeah, no, it's fun to explore what's going to resonate best, particularly from a marketing perspective and promotion and PR, right? Is figuring out how you're going to break through the noise of all the information that's thrown at us all the time. And it's exciting though to think about future proofing yourself and your career and your family as we head into what they're calling the digital revolution. So that's exciting. So what is up next for Strengthsbase? What's in the next 3 months, 6 months? What are we looking at here?
I think people can stay tuned in the next 3 months. My hope is, at the end of August at least, we'll have something that people can use, interact with. It might have not a ton of content and be a little scrappy, not have all of the features on the marketing students' wish list, but it's something that we can first connect people with. I talked to people in CBT about potentially connecting with, using it as a platform to connect mentors with mentees.
Yeah.
I think there is a lot of great potential there to kind of build its capacity to facilitate that mentoring experience.
Yeah.
And so I'm hoping to build that in the next year or so, as well as I guess, synonymous with or parallel to that would be the for career coaches to really have a curriculum. If you've worked with a career coach, I think they have their bag of tricks, but to have a curriculum that, or, they can even be certified and have a suite of tools that they can use.
Yeah.
To really guide them through their experience with clients. So that's kind of, business to business future potential. I'm looking at working with employers to create B2B, another, I guess, job board in a sense, or internship platform, but the distinction is creating sort of a safe sandbox for the users to really be themselves and discover their strengths and skills, and then market those really authentically to employers who know that they're coming for, I guess, genuine talent rather than, someone who used AI to generate their resume and is telling all lies, right? So I think that's something I am very excited about building that will appeal to employers. So hopefully, that might maybe take a few years to get there, and hopefully have a solid user base by then to really make that marketable. I would love to, I mentioned gamification, top secret, but I'm also starting a career as a game designer as well.
Oh, okay, we're doing this too.
Can't tell you more about that yet.
Okay.
But yeah, leveraging AI and gamification into the platform, but in only meaningful and useful ways. I think having a strong platform to begin with and integrating AI models that are trained can be very helpful, rather than just counting on AI to drive the whole thing and miss the mark. So I'm looking at how we can do that, and looking for support from NEIU based talent in computer science very soon to support that, support those goals. And really right now I just want to validate this platform, and hopefully it's all been a good idea that we were bringing to life, and we shall see, and use that as the foundation first. Thank you for being a champion of Strengthsbase along the way.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
Meant a lot and really supported getting to where we are today.
Yeah, and just guys, you just shared a whole bunch of things that, right? Let's start here. This is your core competency, but let's see where the future takes us. So last one for fun. If Strengthsbase were a college student, what would their strengths be, and how would your platform hone their skills?
Yes. So, no, I thought about how Strengthsbase really actually aligns or is an extension of my own strengths.
Yeah.
And so I guess if that's not too easy of an answer.
Talk about yourself.
Um,
It's great.
really, the ideation, activator, connectedness, input, and individualization. Those are my top 5 strengths based on the Clifton framework,
Okay.
which is a framework that I have really developed a lot of my strengths work around, and I hope it will be integral in the Strengthsbase platform. But really, the ideation and activator is the engine for me to really have this vision and idea in the first place, and then to really pursue the opportunities to get here, right, and put the energy in for that. So
Yeah.
so that's the me in it, but the personality of the platform itself, the input is, it's really, Strengthsbase is not reinventing the wheel or trying to invent something new even, but it's really just to aggregate all of these great tools that are out there and curate them in a really meaningful, resourceful way. And I think, that connectedness piece and individualization is really creating a space that integrates those resources and tools in both meaningfully connected and personalized ways, or individualized ways. So I guess that's my short answer.
I
No.
love that. Yeah, I think that there's a lot of that's really rich. There's a lot of thought that went on behind it. I thought I was going to be, this is, throwing out some more strange strengths like, I don't know, digitally savvy or something like this. Anyway, no, that's very rich and helpful and fun. Like Strengthsbase,
There we go.
follow his website, become a user.
Yeah, strengthsbase.app and very soon strengthsbase.com.
Jesse, thank you for being here today
Thank you,
and joining
Jessica.
us for this thoughtful and purpose-driven, and being a thoughtful and purpose-driven partner and business owner associated with the Big Center. I think that at the Big Center, we're really looking for entrepreneurs and founders who want to make a significant change in our lives and the lives of their community. And I think that's the underpinning of Strengthsbase. So thank you for that.
Yeah, and I'm honored to have the opportunity to grow this platform here at NEIU and allow students to benefit from it for free. And really, NEIU is a place that means a lot to me. And so to be able to support our students with this tool and develop it really around them at no cost, I think is something that I also really appreciate.
Yes, homegrown at Northeastern. And I also wanted to say thank you to the Illinois Innovation Voucher Program and ISTC for making this kind of applied research possible, and Professor Agopian and the other faculty and staff who are working with Strengthsbase directly. So thank you for that collaboration. So we're proud that NEIU's Business Innovation and Growth Center, in partnership with the College of Business and Technology, could support this project through the Illinois Innovation Voucher. And it's a great example of what happens when research, real-world learning, and community-minded innovation come together. We thank you today for tuning in to the Become Your Own Boss podcast here at the Business Innovation and Growth Center. If you're out there and you're a business or founder looking to explore an idea, test a new product, or tackle a customer experience or business challenge, we invite you to partner with our talented students and faculty through the Big Center on class lab projects or student consultancy work. And you can visit us at neiu.edu/cbt-big or email us at bigcenter@neiu.edu. Until I see you next time, stay brilliant.